It is not easy to get to this point of reckoning, is what I call it. It is not easy. But I want to share 3 things that I did for myself, or in hindsight, I recognize that I did with myself to help someone who may be going through a loss right now to have an easier time. I'm sorry, this always gets me a little emotional, guys. So, 10 years, but it still feels like yesterday. So one thing that I realized that I gave myself was I gave myself a lot of grace. And I have to thank, I saw a therapist one time because I felt like I was going crazy. And I did see a therapist about it. And she told me, she said, you are doing okay. Give yourself time. Give yourself time to go through all of it, to feel all of it, to see all of it, and you will come to some sort of acceptance. And I thought at the time that that was the lousiest advice anybody can give, especially a therapist. But I realize now that she knew what she was talking about, because I wasn't dealing with, it was new to me, but it is not new to most people. We all go through loss, and loss doesn't have to always be about losing someone. Loss can be losing a job. In this pandemic, we have lost a lot, not just people. We have lost our identities. Some of us, we have lost our placement in life, and so sometimes we are grieving not for the loss of a loved one, we are grieving for the loss of something, or some part of ourselves. And I would encourage anybody out there to give themselves some grace. Allow yourself to go through what you go through. It's okay. The timing is yours. So just give yourself some grace. And be easy on you, because you need it. Just as how you would want somebody else to extend you some grace, you can give that to yourself. You can be kind to yourself. The second thing is that I didn't allow others to define my healing. So a lot of times, people will tell you what they think you should be doing. But I will tell you this, your healing is yours. And however that manifests is however it is. I sought out things that made my days easier. So for instance, going home wasn't easy, and like I said before, I went to my friend's house and I just spent time there. We lived near Brickell Key, and so we used to go walk the quay and sit on the wall. And we what did we dub it again, me and Yolanda? We dubbed it our wall. I think it was something like our wall or something like that. And I always remember it became our spot, our healing spot, because she was also going through some things in her life. And she would walk with me. I would never say a word. And we would just sit on that wall, watch the yachts go by, people having fun on boats. We would watch them, birds flying by, fish jumping out of the water. We would always watch. And it was our place of healing. So going back to my point is, don't allow anybody to define what your healing will be. You alone will know what that looks like and feels like for you. And you seek out those places or those things that make you feel good. So if going to the beach, which was for me, makes you feel good, you go there and you sit there. I would go there sometimes in the morning before work and after work. Just drive to the beach, because I lived within, at that time, 15 minutes of the beach. So I could get there quickly before work, have time to go there and go, afterwards. After work, I would just sit there in the evenings until the sun went down. So do what that allows you to heal. If seeking a therapist is what will allow you to advance that healing, then you do that. Changing your location, geographic location, I can't say enough about that. Tremendous, because the place sometimes that you are is a reminder of the person that you lost, or the thing that you lost, or the change that you've been through. And sometimes changing that location allows you to have a fresh outlook on life, a new feeling, a rebirth somehow, you know. And lastly, I would say, allow yourself to feel every bit of emotion. And I know this might be a hard one for a lot of people, but it is because we block our emotion that makes life even harder sometimes, because we don't want to deal with what we're feeling. When you break up with someone, you had become attached to that person, just as how when you lose them, when they die, you became attached to that person. So it's obvious that you're going to feel some kind of a pull and a tug from that, because now you have to detach yourself. And that's okay. Feel that. Understand the feeling. Get wrapped up in it. Know everything about it. And I'm saying that because grief comes in waves. It just does this. Sometimes you feel high, like, ooh, I have no problems, I've gotten over this thing. And then boom, you get dropped in this valley. And that feeling takes over again. And you start wondering if you're crazy. So it just does this. It comes in waves. But I'll tell you, you begin to understand the waves. It's like a pattern. So if you understand, if you allow yourself to feel every emotion, the depth of that pain, the depth of that hurt, the anger, the depression, all of it, when you start getting these waves, and in the height of when it starts curving up and you feel like you're going to go through something, you're going to understand what it is and you can prepare for it. So to go over those 3 points that I want you guys to take away today is: 1, give yourself grace. Please be kind to yourself. Do not allow others to define your healing. You alone will know what that is, and you will know it because it will feel good when you do it. And 3, allow yourself to feel every bit of that emotion.